Come, let us practice Buddhist philosophy and Tantric Chanting to help us meditate like a Jedi. Wrong button. Let's try this one. We begin with the first noble truth. From an evolutionary perspective, stress is anything that circumstantially, physically, interpersonally, or mentally inhibits our ability to survive and thrive as a species. We come now to the second noble truth. We evolved a collection of instincts to survive these stressors. These are fine when used sparingly, but since the Neolithic Revolution, we, as a species, have been forced to overuse them. Enslaved by the fleeting short-term pleasures of our dopamine-oriented reward system, we have become defined by our controlling tendencies, and as such overfocus, overanalyze, and overbelieve to such a degree that we exhaust our dorsolateral and medial prefrontal cortex, which triggers our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression, causing our tendencies to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel, to be the guiding light by which we needlessly squander our brief human lives. We come now to the third noble truth. The fulfillment for which we yearn could only be delivered by our oxytocin-oriented system that rewards our tendencies to be flexible, loving, rational, laid-back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. This meaningful path has 8 folds. We conclude with the fourth noble truth. Let us forsake the exhausting habit of actively fighting against our own autonomic nervous system, the hardware of our Buddha nature, and instead with it cooperate. By silently and mentally reciting the verb watch each time we feel air enter our nostrils or our chest subtly swell as we inhale. And by silently and mentally reciting the verb rest each time we feel air exit our nostrils or our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale. Having completed our opening explanation, let's take a moment to shift gears. It is Luke Skywalker Friday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after about 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Sende Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Our chanting continues. Actually, our chanting begins. As the tip of our left index finger supports the great knuckle of our right index finger, palms up in our lap. Let us practice bliss and letting go in such a manner that it feels as if the Force itself is giving us a kiss upon the top of our head. To do this, we require neither blind faith nor exhausting visualizations. All we got to do is play with the following 6 syllables. Lama come to pay crown. 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 Let's practice the first set of the awareness and letting go, that is, meditating like a Jedi. The 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let us explore mindfulness, the seventh fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let us explore how this works. During each inhalation, spontaneous and uncontrived, the sympathetic nervous system is centered in the middle bit of our spinal cord is already wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly watch our perceptions. The sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, and scents of the four bases of mindfulness, these circumstantial, physical, interpersonal, and mental, including our abilities to emote, intend, reason, recall, and imagine. Instead of indulging our controlling tendencies to shove at circumstantial danger, physical pain, interpersonal scorn, and mental shame, as well as reach for circumstantial safety, physical bliss, interpersonal praise, and mental fame, let us choose to be vulnerable to all that we experience, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. A quick shout out to everyone visiting on YouTube. Oopsie, the Tube app. We come now to the eighth fold, meditation. What are we to do with all that we watch? Simple. With every exhalation, the top bit and the bottom bit of that same spinal cord, known as our parasympathetic nervous system, is already wired to rest in such a manner that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, less defining, and even as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. Until, of course, the next inhalation, when the cycle begins afresh, and, like the ticking pendulum of a grandfather clock, we continue to watch mind's antics and rest in its non-graspable nature. Let us practice the holocron of impermanence and interdependence. To my friends on the clock app, you might find it more fulfilling to join me over here so that you can chant along with me. Together. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with all follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and instead relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. Let us bring our experience of the circumstantial into the path of the wisdom of letting go, the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. All circumstances are lots and their fears, as appearing yet non-graspable as a Buddha's, real or imagined paradise, pure land or vati of light, could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light, that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. Let us divide the silent and mental recitation of this six-syllable synopsis between our inhalation and our exhalation. During our inhalation, silently and mentally we could recite lots, fears, melt. During our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite into form. All bodies or forms and their fears, as sensual yet as non-graspable as a devi or yidams, real or imagined body of light, could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light, that could delightfully absorb into this communicational speech. Forms, fears melt into speech. All interpersonal speech and its fears, as resounding and non-graspable as a real or imagined, horizontal mental rosary of light, could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light, that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Speech, fears melt into mind. All lucid perceiving, emoting, intending, thinking, recalling and imagining minds and their fears, as lucid yet non-graspable as a real or imagined, one-syllable seed or bija mantra of light, could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light, that could delightfully absorb into a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. Mind spheres melt into void. Let's practice the second set of the awareness and letting go. That is meditating like a Jedi, the seventh and eighth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let us use the tip of our left index finger to support the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, palms up in our lap. As we feel air enter our nostrils, silently and mentally we could recite the verb watch. As we feel air exit our nostrils, silently and mentally we could recite the verb rest. The acquisition of a new skill could make us anxious and even feel that we, like Rip Van Winkle, could sit to meditate only to open our eyes and find that a century has passed us by. Some have found that the best way to non-neurotically time our meditation is to practice a variation of Bengali crease counting. It could take more than 1 minute to count 16 inhalations by touching the tip of our right thumb to the creases and tips of its little, ring, middle, and index finger. Fingers, plural. It could take more than 20 minutes to count 16 sets of 16 inhalations each by touching the tip of our left thumb to the creases and tips of its little, ring, middle, and index fingers. It could take more than an hour to count 3 collections of 16 sets of 16 inhalations each by using the tip of our left index or middle finger to first support our right index or middle finger's larger lower knuckle, and then support its middle knuckle, and then support its very small upper knuckle while resting both hands palms up in our lap. Remember, that which at first feels awkward could be mastered if practiced once every 12 hours after only a week or so. As the tip of our, let's get synchronized, as the tip of our left middle finger supports the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. Let's practice bliss and letting go in such a manner that it could feel like the force itself is giving us a hug. To do this, we require neither blind faith nor exhausting visualizations, but instead merely the chanted recitation of the following 6 syllables, Lama blend with this mind. 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 Let's practice the third set of awareness and letting go. That is meditating like a Jedi, the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. As we feel our chest swell with breath, let us silently and mentally recite the verb watch. As we feel our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb rest. And as such, we can cooperate with our autonomic nervous system's natural inclinations to watch the antics of mind, as well as rest in its non-graspable nature. That's weird. Let's see. Let us review the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. As we sit and breathe and watch and rest, all that we notice could fleetingly and effortlessly come to feel impermanent, evanescent, and far too subject to change to ever be permanently grasped. The more we sit and breathe and watch and rest, the more our angry and aggressive, yes, there we go, anxious. The more our anxious and aggressive amygdala is calmed. And the more our empathetic anterior cingulate gyrus is gently stimulated. So marinating our experience of the four bases of mindfulness that mentally our intentions are spontaneously kinder, interpersonally our utterances are naturally kinder, physically our conduct is automatically kinder, and circumstantially our commerce is impulsively kinder. Thus, forging a heaven on earth, eventually a peaceful death, and even an auspicious rebirth, figuratively, if not literally. The more we watch mind's antics and rest in its non-graspable nature, the more we automatically experience the effortless effort, or wu-wei, that comes not from calculated contrivance nor from wild scatteredness, but instead from love's deeply centered spontaneity. Let us transcend our elitist conditioning to consider the possibility that enlightenment is merely mastery of this eightfold path. As children, the skills to use the toilet, brush our teeth, tie our shoes, and ride a bike felt insurmountable. And yet, with time and effort and tears, we so mastered these skills that we could perform them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. Similarly, enlightenment's eightfold path could likewise be effortless. Perhaps that is why, that in the second to final passage of his discourse on the four bases of mindfulness, the Buddha is said to have explained that one could master this path in as suddenly as 7 days. No, doing so does not mean we'll never experience any pain or craving ever again. It simply means we will have mastered the Buddha's figurative tool chest, with which we could sustainably respond to each sling and arrow of outrageous fortune. So, once every 12 hours or so, may we sit and breathe and watch and rest. We're going to chant now. And if you wish to chant with us, if you are on the clock app and you wish to chat with me, this might help. Let us practice the holocron of love and letting go, the second through fifth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let's begin by chanting an explanation of this 10-syllable mantra. Om, I invoke the love that spiritually liberates Tare and physically rescues Tutare as well as blesses Ture. May all beings master this dynamism Soha. Let us bring our experience of the mental into the path of love, the second fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all minds of all beings know me as joyfully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a bija, one syllable seed mantra tamoti clay drop. For all minds, wisdom, joy. This is not an object of blind faith. This is not an object of visualization. For by simply, silently, and mentally reciting these 6 syllables in harmony with our breathing, we are gently stimulating the neural pathways responsible for empathy. For all minds, wisdom, joy. Make sure this is fitting on the screen okay. This is kind of weird. All right. For mantra meditation, we're going to practice 3 steps. As we breathe in, well, let me jump back for a second. Mantra meditation is a simple way of saying the Tantra Mahamudra, or the union of love and letting go. During our inhalation, silently and mentally, we can recite the 6-syllable wish, for all minds, wisdom, joy. As we exhale, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Now, if this is your first rodeo, please give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa. Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa. Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa. Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa, Om Tare Du Dare Duri Sawa. We now bring our experience of the interpersonal into the path of love, the 3rd fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all relationship, communication, or speech of all beings know me as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist speech or communication symbolized by this horizontal 10-syllable mantra. For all speech, peaceful love. Om Tare Du Nani Nuri Sowa, 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 Om Tare Du Nani Nuri Sowa. Now let us bring our experience of the physical into the path of love, the fourth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist statuary of the blissful body of a Devi or Yadama, an archetype of enlightenment such as Green Tara. For all forms, pretty health. Om Tare Tu Tare Nuri Sowa, 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 Om Tare Du 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 Tare Nuri Sowa. Finally, let us bring our experience of the circumstantial into the path of love, the fifth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all circumstances, all lots of all beings now have this safety, great fortune, open. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, spirit land or Vanti. For all lots, safety luck. Om Tare Du Tare Nuri Sowa, 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 Om Om Tade Tu Tade Dure Sowa. 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 Let us practice this evening's fourth and final set of the awareness and letting go, that is meditating like a Jedi. As we feel our chest swell, silently and mentally we could recite the verb watch. As we feel our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb rest. Doing so helps us to cooperate with our autonomic nervous system, which has already evolved to watch mind's antics as we breathe in and rest in its non-graspable nature as we breathe out. If we're already wired to do this, why do we play with words? To help us to stop competing against our own autonomic nervous system and begin cooperating with it vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. So upon the tip of our left middle finger, let us rest the great knuckle of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of ever. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism, may our liberation of all others be fueled by the three wish-fulfilling jewels of following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. Having sat for the better part of an hour, we might find it refreshing to conversationally recite the 8-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. May we free all through thee, three jewels, while simultaneously engaging in deep knee bends. This, of course, is completely optional. So brace yourself. I'm going to swing the computer around. Woof. Let's see. Whoops. Okay, let's go over here for a second. Okay. Heels shoulder width apart. Whoa. Half heel squats. May we free all through thee, three jewels. Full heel squats. May we free all through thee, three jewels. Weight on the balls of the feet. On the way down, ass to the grass. On the way up, tippy toes. May we free all through thee, three jewels. Oopsie. Okay. Woof. Woof. Okay. I guess this would be easier. Okay. Let us seal this evening's practice by chanting the wishes for the preservation of the Buddha's teachings. May each meditation teacher truly understand the Buddha's teachings and practice master as well as teach him generously, lovingly, and wisely in the manner of centered spontaneity. May each meditation teacher spontaneously receive generous patrons, enthusiastic students, as well as devoted apprentices. And thus may many Dharma centers be successfully planted, nurtured, and flourish. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's first recitation and meditation. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.